I'm going to switch the topic over to art this morning and talk with a local artist who's been very busy creating some amazing masterpieces like the one you see behind us. Tim, thank you so much for being with me this morning.
Thanks, Jenna.
Okay, Tim, can you tell us, our viewers, a little bit about what they see behind us right now?
Sure. This is an image, it's a composition of a marble carving of a hammerhead shark. And you can see on the bottom part of the frame those teeth. I strayed from nature a little bit. Hammerhead sharks are kind of snaggle teeth, and I gave him a little bit of a Hollywood smile.
I
sharpened them up and I polished them. He's 48 inches eyeball to eyeball out of Bardilio, Italian marble.
Okay.
It's the special gray, and I thought it made sense that the sedimentary stone is made up of organic materials compressed over 1 million years into marble and shoved up out of the earth in a mountain. I thought it made the perfect subject for, or the material for the subject of a hammerhead shark.
Okay, okay, I like it. It's beautiful.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, Tim, why have you chosen sculpture as your medium of expression that you use?
That's a good question. I was guided early on in my career for through some fantastic teachers and some apprentice programs I went through. Characters like Tom Scarf and John Aducci, who are true genius masters. They kind of recognized the skills and the abilities that I had and guided me into a path of sculpture, and it's worked out great.
But now you also do some other types, like you do watercolors too, right?
This is true. Yes, one of the fundamental aspects of being a good sculptor is you need to do a lot of things well. You need to wear a lot of hats. And by the time you see a finished product of, say, a polished marble carving, you've already been through a whole bunch of studies. Model making and drawing and painting and watercolors are all part of the process. It's a very symbiotic relationship. You learn about the subject as you're doing it. So by the time you get to the finished product, you have it all worked out. And watercolors in particular, they're very fast, they're fluid. It's a lot of fun too.
What do you enjoy more though? Sculpture or watercolors or?
I am particularly drawn to difficult things. The more difficult and the harder it is, the more I am attracted to it. And marble carving in particular is one of the hardest things I could possibly imagine to do. It's very difficult to breathe life into an inanimate object. And when you see from my sculptures, there's motion, and an object that's static, that doesn't move, but appears to move, is exceptionally difficult. And that's one of the things that I enjoy the most.
Okay. And now when I have Key West artists on the show, I love kind of speaking with them about where they get their inspiration at. Living down here, Tim, where do you get your inspiration from to create what you create?
Another very good question. Well, I have to be honest with you. My daughter is a fantastic source of inspiration to me. This sculpture in particular, the only way a person can get into that position would be either a very young person or a teenage gymnast, and that's what I've named the piece. And she's so full of life and she's so vibrant. In fact, I have one of her images here. This is her Mother's Day present to her mother, so you can see that the talent runs in the family. It's little Trinity Curtis. I've also started working with epoxies and synthetics, so I can get the process. And this sculpture in particular was a model for a marble carving, and that's the reason why I put her in that position, so that there's no thing sticking out in space that could break once it's carved in stone. So I tucked her in very tightly. And I was not going to dismember her until the last minute because I was was concerned that I would ruin the piece by taking her apart. And it turns out to be the best move I made, and that I could get into all the narrow inside tight corners, and also the connection points where I dismembered her are perfect for casting. So now I can make copies of her and also the marble carving.
Okay, great. And now if people are interested in your work, Tim, if they'd like to purchase your work, they can do that, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay, and should they call you? Should they check you out on Facebook? What do you prefer?
Facebook's good. You can keep up to date with all the latest comings and goings. I post a lot of fishing videos and sculpture videos and slideshows and things that we do. That's timmarshallcurtis.com, or excuse me, Tim Marshall Curtis on Facebook.
Facebook?
And my phone number, you can call me directly, 305-923-4630.
Okay, give that number one more time.
305-923-4630.
Okay, well, Tim, thank you so much for letting me showcase your work this morning, and thanks for the work you do, Tim, because it's great.
Well, you're very welcome. Thank you.
All right, everybody. That's Tim Marshall Curtis. Please check out his work on Facebook or contact him by phone. We'll be back after this with the General Manager of Ibis Bay and Kevin Piper Sr. Stay with us.